Hey everybody, Dr. Mike Hattabaugh at HeroMarriage.com, and today I'm going to talk about an emotion that if you'll figure this out, if you'll re-add it, or if you haven't added it, you'll add it back, or if you'll recognize that it's an emotion that many of you missed out on when you began your relationship, it's going to make a huge difference. Stay tuned. So what is this mystery emotion that people are missing out on? Well, we live in unique times, and I could talk an hour about why we've gotten here, and maybe I'll make a longer video. I do talk about this in some of my courses in great detail, but I want to introduce you today to the emotion that I think a lot of couples are missing in their relationship, why that is, and maybe just a little bit on what you can do about it to get it back. And that emotion is desire. Desire is a missing emotion in a lot of younger marriages in our culture. Let me tell you briefly why. One of the brief reasons why is that millennials and 20-year-olds are petrified of divorce. And I love you for that. I love that you saw a lot of your parents and your friends' parents go through divorce, and you saw the pain that caused to them. And I hate divorce, and I get that completely. But the antidote for that, for a lot of millennials and 20-year-olds, is we're not going to wait for our desire. We're going to give into our desires. We're going to mate. We are going to mate, and we're going to wait for long-term commitments for later. And there's a lot of things that gets right, but there's a lot of things that gets wrong. And just like almost everything is, when we try to fix one problem, the pendulum swings the other direction and it creates other problems. And one of the things that happens there is we got lectured, or millennials certainly got lectured by a generation that says, true love waits. You better wait till you get married. But then we saw a lot of their relationships and they were swapping spouses every 5-6 years. Now, that's a generality. That's not true of everyone. I'm a Gen Xer, so I kind of pick on millennials and boomers that way. But the reality is that that's why that emotion is missing for many young married couples, or many couples that aren't married, that are going, why doesn't this relationship feel more deeper and authentic? And I will tell you, one of the reasons is because in the beginning stages of it, you short-circuited desire. So again, without going into deep understanding, is, 75 years ago, the vast majority of marriages in America came out of families where the families were very adamant that you could hardly even be alone with the person that you were dating until you were married. Now, there's a lot of good things about that. It was distorted. It's created a lot of issues. I get it. I'm not here to lecture anybody right now on anything like that. What I am here to do is try to help you understand why that particular issue now in young people, and when I say young people, 20 to 30-year-olds right now in America, has become such a deficiency in so many relationships. I see it a lot in my coaching. I counsel a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds that come to see me, and they're just like, man, all we do now is fight. And I dig a little deeper, and what I find out is that the only emotions now that they express are these commitment emotions. And what they're missing are longing and desire emotions. Love for the sake of, man, I desired you for a period of time, and then I finally got you. It's very common in our culture now that by the third date, a vast majority of couples now have already slept together by their third date. Many on their first or second. I'm not here. I don't need to hear from you what your number is. But one of the things that does is when you're becoming so physically intimate so early in your relationship, is what you're really saying is, you know what? I never have to desire you. Because when I desire you, I have you. I act on my desire. Well, if you rewind to couples that say, you know what? I desire you, but I'm going to wait for you. And I'm going to wait till we get engaged and married, and then I'm going to give in to that desire. And I recently counseled a couple that's what they did. They dated. They said, you know what? We're going to wait till we're married. And they dated, and the desire was off the charts on them. And one of the things that they said to me was, our friends were telling us the last couple months before we got married was, gosh, get a room, because the desire had built so high. But the cool thing about that is that then there was some literal mental kind of solidification, so to speak, of once they got to that point, it's like, I finally got this thing that I waited for. So all that to say is I counsel couples that didn't do that. And again, you can't go back and fix that. Many couples come to me and are like, we've made some mistakes, but we want to, how can we fix those? Well, one of the ways that we fix that is by helping you walk back through how do we create desire for each other. And that begins on a day-by-day basis. So it starts in the morning. So you can create desire today, right now. I counsel a lot of guys to do that. If you just stop at 10 o'clock in the morning and text your spouse. So women, you can do this to your husband too. Just text him at 10 o'clock, just thinking about you. I can't wait to see you tonight. That will create desire. Amazing desire. Do that for a couple weeks. Now, after a few days, switch it up. Don't do it right at 10. Choose another time. But at some point in your day, tell your partner, I can't wait to see you again. I can't wait to tell you about how my day went. I can't wait just to see your smiling face. The power of that is off the charts. And it's something that a lot of couples are missing because we walk into this tentatively. It's like, I'm afraid of commitment, but I'm going to give in to my desire. And that's become kind of the American way, so to speak. Again, I'm not here to say that. I'm here to judge you because of that. I am telling you that ultimately that's why those rules were put in place to begin with, is that it really is meaningful when we make real commitments to each other. And that's what I find now is the couples that are coming to me are like, man, I really want to be fully committed to my partner that I've been with. And maybe now they're getting married or they've gotten married and they're like, how come the spark's not there anymore? And I say, it's because you bypass desire. You've never really created it in your relationship well enough. You short-circuited that. So let's walk back and let's create desire. Now, if you aren't married yet, this is real easy. What I say is, I challenge every couple that I do premarital counseling with, we'll have this discussion, and I'll say, hey, if you haven't gotten married yet, when's your wedding date? They'll tell me that. I'm like, why don't you go live on your buddy's couch until then? Why don't you date like a couple's dates up until your wedding date, from now until then? Because that will create desire, number one. And the number two thing that I love about desire is once you have desire, and in a dating situation, what it drives you to do is, I want to know even more about this person that I desire. So your discussions will be deeper. Your conversations will be more meaningful. You'll ask the most important questions that you need to ask before you get married, which is to plug my Hero Pre-Marriage course. That's exactly what it does, is it walks you through the most important questions you need to ask before you say I do. But that desire drives that need to want to know that. I just want to know more about you because I desire you and I can't have you yet. So that's really important if you haven't gotten married yet. Is I challenge you to do that. Go and spend, even if it's just 3 weeks. If you're getting married in 3 weeks, start now and for 3 weeks say, you know what, we're going to do this right the last 3 weeks. Create that desire and watch how your relationship grows from it. All right. Now, many of you are going, but what if we're already married, or what if we're never going to get married and we're already, we bought a house together and have kids. We're not, okay. That's workable as well. That's also a way to create desire. So here's the short version of that, is that look for things you can create desire in. Again, texting in the morning, can't wait to see you today. Have a planned getaway down the road, is can't wait till we get away in 3 weeks. Or remember when we did this, I can't wait to do that with you again. Come up with language or actions that lead to that desire. Now, I'm kind of a language guy. I'm words of affirmations, my love language, so it's kind of my go-to language. But you can do this with anything. Buy your spouse a gift and don't give it to them right away. Say, you know what? I just bought you something that I can't wait to give you on your birthday. I'm not going to tell you what it is, though. That creates desire. If it's acts of service, say, you know what? The next 3 weeks, I'm going to bring you breakfast in bed every day. Create the desire. And every day I come in with that breakfast, I expect you to be smiling, or whatever it is. That creates desire. Quality time. You know what? I can't wait to hang out with you. I love it when we're going to spend 3 hours alone together this weekend, just hanging out. All the love languages you can create desire with. It's just being cognizant of that. And for a lot of couples, I find out this is an aha moment for them. They go, oh, yeah, I guess we have lost our desire. And yeah, I guess we never really had it, so we never learned that that was an important part of who we are and were. Add that emotion to your relationship. Realize that that's why it was there in the first place. Realize that's why ultimately, I'm a big believer in waiting till you get married to sleep together, because it causes you to ask the right questions before you get there. Our economy has changed. The world has changed. I get it. But I'm telling you that what I'm finding is hero marriages, people that really begin to go, what is it that's going to make our relationship work, are beginning to ask that question, are we really doing this the right way? It's becoming really common among teenagers now to want to wait till they get married. And many of them, it's not even for any spiritual beliefs. It's just we're finally beginning to get it that lifetime commitments are really neat and really important, and we shouldn't take them so lightly. And the fact that we just are, giving up on desire, we're missing out on an emotion that we need that drives our relationship. I've been married 32 years, and my wife and I waited till we got married to have sex. And it's one of the memories that I still rely on, is when I'm thinking about my wife sometimes, I'm reminded of the desire that I had for her up until we got married. It's like, man, this beautiful woman, I can't wait to be with her. And then to finally get married and have that joy of going, wow, yay, we're finally here. And then to enjoy her now for 32 years. That desire was worth the wait. All right. Now, you can do that. And a lot of times I find couples, one of them gets this and one of them like, I don't care. Well, do it for your partner. If you want to see the joy in their eyes, ask them, would this matter to you? And I think you'll find that most couples, there's at least one of you that go, yeah, I'd feel a lot better. And man, I sure wish we had more of this in our life. Love to hear your comments down below. Keep it nice. I'll delete them if they get mean. Because again, I'm not here to lecture you as much as this is what I've learned, counseling thousands of people on how to have healthy relationships. The University of Chicago has been studying this for decades. It's what they found. And again, secular context is there's a lot of reasons that we need to create desire. If you've already missed that, it's okay. We can go back and find some of that. Now, we may never fully get to what we could have, but that's, again, you never do. But look for that and realize that that's something that you're probably missing. And that's an emotion that I find once I show couples how to do that, things take off. Now, right now, I am taking some coaching clients. So if this is an issue for you, contact us, set up an appointment, and let's have a coaching session and begin to help you think through maybe ways that you could do it in your relationship. And that's unique to you. The other thing we do is group coaching, and that's always a component of what we do in our group coaching is we're constantly giving activities for couples that will create desire. And that's whether you're getting ready to get married or you've been married 20 years. This is still an important component of who we are. And I've got lots of tools and techniques that help you with that. All right? So as always, hit that subscribe button and like this video if you liked it. Share it with somebody if you know it can help them. And I just appreciate you watching this video. So let's go out there and have a hero marriage. See ya.